That's, I think, that the biggest tragedy here. We had the Tories in power for 14 years. The writing was clearly on the wall, and yet all that you heard from the Tories was about triple lock pensions. Nothing was done. They were just trying to lock in that blue rinse brigade and had no interest at all in what was surely, and was obvious to most people, is an existential crisis for the Conservative Party. I mean, I think it was the case that between 2019 and today, 1.4 million right-wing voters died compared to only 400,000. So they're dying at a rate of 3 times as much. And I think by the time you get to 2029, there'll be another over 1 million right-wing voters will have died, so just only 500,000. So it is an existential crisis, which means the next probably 2 elections are quite critical if there is going to be any hope of reversing the long march of institutions, which includes the education system.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it is striking. You know, Britain is an outlier, or I should say it's at the far end of the societies where the young people are the most left-wing, especially in comparison to the older population. I mean, it should be seen, it should be the one issue beyond any other that parties on the right are talking about. And they are just locked in this denial mindset that somehow, the old Thatcherite, once they own a house, it'll all be different. And they're deluding themselves, utterly delusional. In no other part of the West, I'm from Canada. You can see in Canada that the young people are as or more conservative than the old people. The future in Canada for the right looks pretty good. In Britain, it's not. And I think you can trace it back, actually. Something happened around just before the Brexit vote and during the Brexit vote, where a narrative about, this Tory right-wing scary group of privileged people are screwing us young, and therefore we have to be on the left. That kind of crystallized as a narrative and was reproduced in all of the youth culture and in all of the education system. And that has really molded successive generations. And Britain, I think, is going to become, I said this in the Unheard piece, but I would say in 20 years, Britain is going to look like Canada does today, where you have a left-wing national party of government. The trends are all moving to the left. Whereas Canada, in some ways, I think probably will look more like Britain did with a more natural right of center party of government in 20 years. So they're going to sort of trade places.
God help us.
Yeah, exactly.